RMJ Movie Reviews back again with the continuation of my Arnold-a-thon with 1996's Eraser. What you basically have with Eraser is you got the whole idea of the guy who's got to protect the girl with people running around trying to kill her the whole movie. I've never particularly been a fan of that. You know, I do like the movies that they've had the storylines like that. Like I like Cobra. I shamefully love Fair Game with Cindy Crawford. I know it's a horrible movie, people, but I love that film. And upon rewatching it, I have eased up on it a bit. I was quite disappointed by it when I saw it as a 14-year-old. I like The Rock much better because they all came out the same summer. But I will say I had a little bit more fun with it, having not seen it in many years. It's average fun. I think it's a competently directed movie. You got an all-star cast. You got Vanessa Williams. You got the great James Caan, who's playing the villain. James Coburn is in it. I can't remember the gentleman, the Italian actor. I can't remember his name. He was in Striking Distance, whole bunch of movies. I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. Tons of great character actors in this movie. And like I said, it has all the Arnold quips. The Arnold quips in here. They're not as memorable as the ones from back in the day, but there's still some good ones. You know, why are you late? Traffic. You know, he shoots the alligator. Your luggage. You know, it's good stuff. You know, the issue I have with the film is that the action that it does have just isn't that great. You know, it has that, and it's also in particular the way it's filmed. When you have an action picture, you don't want to shoot your action tight. And it boggles my mind, and I do understand that in listening to the director of John Wick 2 and 3, that Chad, I can't remember his last name, but he kind of explained why you end up with things like the shaky cam and very tight shots and things like that. You know, you have to compensate for how long the actors are going to be shooting the film, how much time they have to learn such and such, if they can do the karate, if they can shoot the weapons. You know, all that stuff kind of runs into why you have the shaky cam and the very tight shots and the choppy editing and all that kind of stuff. Eraser was in the infancy of the shaky cam. Shaky cam at this point had only been done by Michael Bay in Bad Boys 1 and in The Rock. Like, I mean, literally, like, there's no room to see what's going on. And also, too, the action sequences in Eraser are very anticlimactic. There's one thing that I don't think I know if I've mentioned in the video before, is that action sequences should have a rhythm, a beginning and a middle and an end. Each one of your action sequences and action pictures, like if you watch the John Wick movies, they do have beginning, middles, and ends. There's a story and a rhythm within the action sequence. Eraser does not have that rhythm. It basically kind of starts and then it ends. You know what I mean? But it's not even an ending. It's just like it starts and then it's on to something else. And I think that is the one. The action is very uninvolving. It doesn't feel. You watch John Wick, or even like if you watch James Cameron movies, you watch the action in Terminator 1 and 2. Your adrenaline is pumping. You're in there. I do not feel at all invested in the action sequences in Eraser at all, except for the action sequence, which is the best one in the entire movie to me, which takes place in the zoo with the alligators. And that's a cool scene. I love that scene where the alligator starts eating the bad guys, and you know, I mean, the alligators look fake, but it's still very fun. I've always loved that sequence. I mean, some people could argue that the airplane sequence where Arnold, you know, hangs on the wing of the plane, he goes, ah, you know, and he has to go and get the parachute. That sequence is pretty cool. It loses some points for me when Arnold is on the parachute and you know, he shoots at the plane, and you know, I understand suspension of disbelief, but it kind of lost me there a little bit. It's a little bit of Die Another Day, Pierce Brosnan on the surfboard with the parachute thing going on. You know, Arnold was never like a karate martial artsy kind of guy. They got his character doing double backflips and martial arts stuff, and I'm like, why is his character doing that? Arnold is 220 pounds. He ain't gonna be doing no spin kick. Oh, okay, great. There could be somebody out there who say, "Oh, Michael Jai White does it." I just feel like the action is very brief, too tightly shot, meaning too close up, and it's uninvolving and anticlimactic and brief. Even the final fight between James Caan, as if that would be a suitable final fight. James Caan is like 5'5" or whatever it is. James Caan is a great actor, and I will say he's so fun and he's great in this. You know, James Caan is basically, you know, he's getting his check here, but he's a fun bad guy. He's a fun villain. Vanessa Williams, beautiful. Her acting is competent. It's good. I remember at the time when, oh my God, I think it was Hard Copy was still on TV. I remember they had like a behind the scenes where there had been many stuntmen who had got badly injured on this film, and they had some guy who had his face all wrapped up, and he was kind of spilling the beans on I'm only going from what I remember, people. I'm not saying this to be true, but allegedly the director kind of just saying like, oh, we got to get it done, blah, 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 let's go ahead and do it. Allegedly. Watching it again, look, the Arnold one-liners are good. It's a cool story. Alan Silvestri, although I'm not really too crazy about his score in this movie, I think it's very overly melodramatic, actiony sounding. It's good. I'm not too crazy about the guitar riffs for Arnold's character, but whatever. But it's always just come off to me as a very average, anticlimactic feeling action picture. So thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video, leave comments down below, and if you have a problem with this review that I'm giving for Eraser, why don't you go ahead and watch The Bridges of Madison County? RMJ Movie Reviews. I will see you soon.